What's going on, America? This is Tim, the talent. We got Case Dog, and of course, Superstar Lane is still chilling with us. You know, we are them dudes over there, and we are most definitely feeling heartbroken about yesterday's game. And now I have a question that all Bengaldom is wondering to themselves here Monday morning. Is it time to panic? Superstar Lane, we'll let you sound it off first since you the guest, man.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm speechless about this one, man. Because like I said, you know, I'm heartbroken, man. You know, I'm torn between being a fan and just, you know, being a real football guy, man. Right now, you know, it's time to panic, man. I'm about to push the button. I'm going to push the button, man. We 3-2. We about to be 4-2. Next,
3-2. Who's 3-2?
I mean 2-3. My bad, 2-3.
I was like,
we about to be 2-4 after we play them Patriots, and that's gonna be another game. It's gonna probably have me crying and have my nerves all worked up. But you know what? It's a long season, man. I mean, I think that we on the brink of pushing that button for real. Obviously we got a good chance of losing next week, but if we lose to the Browns, I say everybody go ahead, clear off the shelves at Walmart. It's gonna be a tornado. It's gonna be an earthquake. Everybody panic, man. Go into your secret bunker. It's all bad. Our season is over if we lose 2 weeks in a row. But you know, anything can happen in the NFL, man. I think if we beat the Patriots, you know, everybody can breathe a little bit easier. That's a big if, though. Big if.
Wow.
But in Foxborough. I'm like one double cheeseburger away from panicking now.
Case Dog, what you think, man? Is it time to panic, or are we just like jumping overboard a little too early?
Man, we should have hit the panic button after week 1. It's like, no. As soon as the first loss, should have been slapping the panic button like, oh my God, what's going on with this offensive line? Just slap it now. Jesus, take the football. Like he said, if we lose again, like, we might as well just call it curtains, just blow up the whole team. Marvin just gonna leave. He gonna be like, forget it, I'm done with the Bengals. I'm going back to being a defensive coordinator.
There's 2 or 4 teams that turned it around, though. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So you don't think that if we lose next week, you don't think we have a chance of turning it around and
I think they're gonna be so emotionally drained from that butt whoopings they done took that they gonna be like, you know what, bro, let's just get this season over with. Like, I don't even want to come back anyway. I'm about to pull a Carson Palmer. Andy Dalton gonna be like, I ain't coming back.
You know what? You bring up a good point, man. There's
AJ Green gonna be like, I'm addicted to weed. I'm about to pull a Josh Gordon just so I can leave.
There's been
Gio gonna be like, bro, I'm retiring.
Yeah, you're right, man. There's been some times in the past seasons where we took that one good butt whooping and then it just ruined the whole season. I can guarantee you, it was one season where the Cleveland Browns came out. We was actually, I think we was like 2-0, 3-0, something like that. We got whooped by the Cleveland Browns. It might have been 06.
You know what? 06, that's
that season.
I don't think it was the Cleveland Browns. No, we beat the Cleveland Browns in 06. But I'll tell you what, though. That was really more like a loss because you lost, was it Rich Brown? You lost him for the season. Pollock had a career-ending injury in that game.
Yeah.
And Tad Perry also got injured in that game.
Right.
That pretty much altered the course of Bengal football for the next 2 to 3 years. You know what I mean? So that was basically like a loss.
There's just certain butt whoopings that can dictate the rest of
your
season.
Here's the thing. They got whooped. What was that, in 2015? No, 2014. They got spanked by the Browns in primetime. Like, they've received a lot of butt whoopings. I think the difference is, since this didn't happen in primetime, we're perceiving it different. They've had at least 2 or 3 stinkers every season where you're like, what the heck just happened? I mean, they got annihilated. They just don't look like the same team. And we usually chalk it up to primetime jitters. And then they bounce back the next week, and it's like, whew, glad that's over. You know what I mean? But what is it about this one specifically that makes Bengals feel different? Because I think we had an excuse the last time. We don't really have a solid excuse of prime time, but some people may consider it prime time. It was a different time zone.
That's not,
it was a different. It was at 4. It was at 4 o'clock. So you know how that goes.
When the lights is on, you're supposed to perform.
Exactly.
Well, they did the week before.
I think we got a more valid excuse now. Like, oh man, we're missing Tyler Eifert. You know, we got a new offensive coordinator.
Well, yeah.
No, but how can you use prime time as an excuse? You in the NFL, man. I mean, you getting paid to do this. You can't be afraid of the bright lights, like K-Dog said, man. You got to be ready. Big time players make big plays, and right now, I feel like we're not giving our playmaker, AJ Green, enough chances to make plays either.
Well, you bring up a good point.
We're not, but in the same sense, I think last game they was targeting him way too much, and then in the second half, then they started trying to get all the other offensive players involved. Because that's why, if you think about it, if they would spread the ball out a little more, like the rookie Boyd, he probably would have caught that one pass, but since he rarely get the ball,
well, he did have a rare drop in that game too. Also, AJ Green wasn't even really targeted that much in the first half. I think because Andy Dalton was running for his life.
Probably when I started watching it, I was seeing him keep trying to throw it to that man. I'm
if you look at the Bengals, they always spread the ball around. Yeah, they had Chad Johnson at one point. They spread the ball around.
We ain't talking about then. We talking about now.
Even now, they had Marvin Lewis Jones and knew they spread the ball around. I say, feed that man. Feed AJ, man. Go ahead and feed him like they feed Julio Jones. Feed him like they feed Dez Bryant, Antonio Bryant. Feed that man. He hungry, man.
So he needs about 15 to 20 pass attempts a game.
Yes, check it up there, man. Check it up there. Let him go get it.
You got to be able to have a clean pocket to throw. I mean, if you're running for your life, you can't chuck it anywhere.
Hey, I say, just run for your life and just throw it up in the area, and he will come down with it, man.
So, but I guess my thing is, you know, we as Bengals fans.
The hell is he, Optimus Prime?
yeah. That's what they call him. Yeah, they call him Optimus Prime.
You know what I'm saying? They used to throw it up there to Megatron.
AJ's Optimus Prime.
Players in one game.
But the thing is it really time to panic? Because you brought up a great point. They have a new offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. They got a new tackle who was beaten like a drum last week. You know, when you got newness there. Like, you only get better as the season goes along. You know, so the offensive coordinator is going to get better. He's going to learn the feel and the flow of the game. He's going to develop better game plans. You hope. Usually that's the way it goes. The tackle is most definitely he can't get any worse. And if he gets worse, you actually have a veteran tackle who could play better than him. Now, granted, his ceiling is nowhere near as high as the rookie. The rookie has the potential to be a perennial Pro Bowler. Well, he's not a rookie, he's a second-year player. He has the potential to be a perennial Pro Bowler. So the question is, do you stunt his growth by putting in the veteran who can help you win now? Or do you deal with the growing pains, have Andy Dalton running for his life for the next few weeks in hopes that he reaches his potential? Because that's what they're looking at. And Marvin Lewis always gets, penalized by the fans because, you didn't let him play early on. Right. He's a rookie. He's better. He should play. Or he's a second-year guy. He should play. You know, they got on him about Hunt. Should have had more playing time. Who else? Oh, man. Sanu should have got more playing time. Marvin Lewis Jones should have got more playing time. Even all the way down to Carlos Dunlap should have been playing ahead of Robert Gathers way earlier. Yeah. But the thing about it is, those guys are not complete players yet. They have aspects where they're good, but they're not complete players yet. So you have that phenomenon where they're not going to get better unless they play, or as they may say, they may get better by watching, and learning.
Aaron Rodgers got better by watching.
Yeah, but I think it works different for each player. I think what hurt Abuehi was that he was hurt in preseason. I think he's still going through preseason, basically. The first 4 or 5 games is training camp and preseason for him because he was in and out of the lineup. And same thing is going to happen if we put Fisher in there. Mm-hmm. Only veterans can skip preseason and come out hitting the ground like I'm ready to go. Like Berflick, for example. He hit the ground. He was serviceable, even though he missed all the preseason.
He's trying to be something he's not,
Thank you.
He's not playing like he was last season. I think.
So what he's trying to be?
Since he got fined, I think he kind of then toned down his game. He ain't the aggressor that we need to be, the bad boy of the defensive squad. Yeah. It's like he's scared now.
He's trying to be Mr. Nice Guy.
You ain't nice, cuz.
Well, he did have a nice little hit on Prescott, though.
Helmet, cuz.
A nice shoulder hit.
He just need to go back to
playing like a maniac.
You get fined. Deal with it later.
He might have lost his powers. He cut his dreads.
And with the tackle thing you said, I actually rather put in the veteran than let the tackle stay in, because what if we keep that tackle in for one more game and then Andy Dalton get hurt?
That's a possibility. Well, there's a lot of people screaming for A.J. McCarron, so...
No, that's a totally different subject. But
that's a whole nother podcast in itself.
I got to disagree with you, Case Dog, man. And I want to start off by saying I love Tim the Talent's optimism. There's a lot of Bengals fans out there that's so optimistic, but I just got to keep it real. Now, I want to be one of those optimistic fans, too, but, there's been times where I've seen the Bengals and they had that talent to where... All right, you know what? They're still growing. They get stronger towards the end of the season. I just don't see that with this team. just because they got too many major issues. It's not like, oh, this player here. First of all, they need to make a change on the line. I don't think that taking the young guy out and putting the old dude in would be a better answer, because that old dude probably going to be just as garbage. And then, the young guy don't get that playing experience. He needs that field time to get better. Like Tuna Talent said, it's just all about experience, man. And once you get in there and you play, like he was injured during the preseason. So, he's getting this preseason experience right now. I agree with that. But I think there's got to be some major changes. And I think it all starts with coaching. Like that offensive coordinator, he's going to have to come up with a different type of game plan. Yeah, because he's getting out coached bad. And that's why I'm like, I like the optimism, but this is going to be a long season, y'all. I'm telling y'all.
Well, let's think about it, because you might be touching on something, because with Jay Gruden, running game was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben Jarvis Ellis actually was running way better in Jay Gruden's offense than he was in New England. Gio ran pretty good. Even Jeremy Hill to a certain extent, but Jeremy Hill, that was actually that wasn't Gruden's offense. Actually, that was Hugh Jackson's offense, and the running game really took off in Hugh Jackson's offense. Right. Now, is it a coincidence that the Cleveland running back is like second in the NFL in rushing? What is that guy? Number 34. I can't remember his name right now. But he wasn't a household name.
Nope.
Nobody really thought highly of him except maybe Cleveland.
What about the defense, though? It's not even just the offensive coordinator. What about Gunther, man? He getting out coached, too.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing about the defense.
Yeah, the defense just ain't got that intensity.
The defense, first off, this is really their first terrible game, if you think about it. The previous weeks, they were on the field like 80% of the time. Until what game was that? I think they had decent drives, like kind of in the Steelers game a little bit.
I don't know if
they was on the field a lot.
The Jets kind of got loose on us too a little bit, man.
Yeah,
it wasn't as bad.
It wasn't as bad as this. No, it wasn't as bad. Like
that was just an onslaught.
The Jets, first of all, it's hard to scheme for them week one.
Right.
I mean, you got Forte. He wasn't on the team last year. You do have those weapons on the outside, and Marshall, and I always forget that guy's name.
It's something.
Decker, Marshall and Decker.
It wasn't even Decker that was going off. It was that other dude in something.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Huawei or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think we even expected any of that out of him.
Well, he was one of those young guys that had potential, but it was like you haven't seen it on tape. Kind of similar to Marvin Lewis-Jones. Now, we all knew who Marvin Lewis-Jones was the first year.
Right.
In 2012, and he showed some ability, but if you recall, Sanu had the better rookie year. He came out the gate. I think he played like 3 or 4 games and had like 4 or 5 touchdown receptions. Yeah, both of them was injured. They never was on the field at the same time as a rookie.
Ooh.
And then in 2013, Sanu came out the gate a little bit.
Right.
Marvin Lewis-Jones got healthy. Sanu got hurt, and then Marvin Lewis-Jones just took off. I'm sure the Patriots and the Colts, people later on in that season was like, okay, who is this guy? Because we're covering A.J. Green, and this dude is catching bombs. Most definitely the Jets. The Jets was like, who is this dude catching 4 touchdown passes? We haven't seen this on tape. It's like, and it's kind of the same thing to Tyler Eifert from last year, because Tyler Eifert never did that in a Bengals uniform until last year. So sometimes you have those surprises. You can't scheme for it.
Right.
And teams that's based on last year and they're trying to scramble and do this year, it's kind of like, well, he's doing that to them, but can they really do that to us? And I think that happened to the Bengals. I think that honestly, they looked at their D-line and they said, you know what? Yeah, that quarterback's doing that to them. And they thought the same thing with Denver,
right.
And they came in with a game plan like, we're going to stack everybody up. We ain't going to worry about the pass. We're not even going to run blitz until later on when it's too late, when we find out we can't handle it, So, guys, the conclusion, we got everybody here saying it's time to panic.
Push the button.
I'm going to be the one guy who reserve where the season's going. I have to see what they do against the Patriots. If they're even remotely competitive, if they lose barely at the last second, but they show that they belong on the same field with the New England Patriots, I think that's a step up, because that's a confidence boost that let the guys know, like, hey, we are who we thought we were. We can play. If you get blown out twice in in 2 weeks back to back against playoff teams, yes, their confidence is going to be crushed. They're going to point the finger. Right. They're going to question everything.
Get the ice cream ready, man. Just get ready to go into depression mode,
get you a good bucket of Ben and Jerry's, cuz.
Yo, make sure y'all comment, man. Comment, let us know what you think. Thanks. God bless. Have a great night. Peace.
Superstar Lane
Don't
out.
play with it.